What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what's going on in the crypto space. And how about that Bitcoin? We are just knocking on that door of new all-time highs. We are currently at $111,435,000. Now, is this new all-time highs? I know Robinhood yesterday showcased it at 112,000. But with coin market cap, it's showing its all-time high was 111,925. So on coin market side, we haven't touched the 112, but some platforms out there may have shown Bitcoin touching 112,000. But either way, we're still going to blow right past that price. I'm eyeing at least 120,000 Bitcoin coming up, and then who knows, we'll hold that or we'll just keep slowly moving. We'll see. We'll have to wait and find out. But there's lots of great Bitcoin news. We'll go over the numbers of how many Bitcoin treasury companies, of how much Bitcoin they added in Q2. We're talking about this Japanese company just got cleared to add $1 billion to their Bitcoin treasury. And then we have a couple of other altcoin news out there. So if you ever want to be a part of that Trump World Liberty Finance token, looks like there's a vote going on about potentially having those coins up to be traded, because originally it was only accredited investors who would be a part of it. So that's kind of some bullish news. And then we have some other altcoin news out there for you. But let's dive into the news and let's hear what's going on today. So first up, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin treasury companies acquire a record 159,107 Bitcoin in Q2. So that's a lot of Bitcoin that just got gobbled up. The corporate Bitcoin holdings surged in Q2, with companies adding a record 159,107 Bitcoin, bringing the total holdings to more than 847,000 Bitcoin. So look at that. There is of all these companies out there that have been starting a Bitcoin treasury, 847,000 Bitcoin. Guys, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. They're coming so close to gobbling up the 1 million Bitcoin. We got Strategy out there who wants to actually hold 1 million Bitcoin alone. And then we got MetaPlanet becoming the next big one out there, and then so many different companies out there. Guys, it's like Bitcoin is scarce. Get it while you can. Be like this little cartoon image. Just scoop it up, grab all that Bitcoin, because once it's so scarce and you can't get it anymore, that will position you very well. But let's continue on. So corporate interest in Bitcoin reached new highs in the second quarter of 2025, with companies adding a record 159,000 Bitcoin to their balance sheets, worth over $17.6 billion at the current price. Now, the figure marked a 23.13% quarter-on-quarter increase, bringing the total corporate Bitcoin holdings to 847,000 Bitcoin, or about 4% of the capped 21 million supply, according to data accumulated by Bitwise Asset Management. Now, the total value of corporate Bitcoin holdings surged to $91 billion by the end of Q2, and calculated based on Bitcoin's closing price of $107,000. Now, that's a 60.93% increase from the previous quarter. Since then, Bitcoin has resumed its rally, surging to new all-time highs above 112,000 on Wednesday. So like I said, some platforms showcased that they did breach the 107,000, the 112,000 mark. So yeah, some people out there saw it, took advantage of it. That's like arbitrage trading right there. Some platforms may be a higher price, some be a lower. That's why people like to trade in that and make their profits. But number of public companies holding Bitcoin also jumped sharply, with 46 new firms entering the space, raising the total to 125, a 58.23% increase quarter-on-quarter. Now here's that chart showcasing the quarter-on-quarter, the increase of just companies and them acquiring Bitcoin. But Sailor Strategy has been leading the charge since 2020, or was it 2021 that he got in? But leading the charge is Strategy with a massive Bitcoin stash of 597,325 coins. The firm led by Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor and has championed the Bitcoin accumulation strategy by consistently issuing convertible notes and at the market equity offerings to fund aggressive Bitcoin purchases. Now, Strategy's Bitcoin accumulation has also fueled a strong performance in stock price. The company's stock is up 43% year to date, far outperforming the S&P 500's modest 6.4% gain over the same period. It has increased by more than 6% over the past month, and by 9% over the past week. It's just according to data from Google Finance, and this is showcasing Strategy's pricing. Now, Bitcoin miner Mara Holdings is the second largest corporate holder of Bitcoin with 49,940 Bitcoin. The company's shares have gained more than 10% year to date. And that is a Bitcoin mining company out there, so it makes sense to be holding on Bitcoin. Then there's also new entrants that are also making waves in Bitcoin's treasury space. We got 21, which launched with a $685 million capital raise and quickly deployed over $450 million into Bitcoin. We have Japan's Metaplanet, which has emerged as a powerhouse dominating Tokyo's trading volume and even surpassing household names like Toyota and Sony while amassing 13,350 Bitcoin. Meanwhile, we got word about GameStop. So we're just hearing like big names out there, big companies I've been around, and how they're grabbing headlines with its first ever Bitcoin purchase, adding 4,700 Bitcoin to its balance sheet. And then further cementing the trend of non-crypto native companies entering the space, we have Trump Media also entering the fray, filing to raise $2.5 billion for further Bitcoin accumulation. And it's not just happening in the US, Metaplanet was Japan too, but London Bitcoin company raises $2 million for more purchases. So this is happening all over the world. So on Wednesday, London Bitcoin company, previously Binance, secured 1.5 million pounds in a new funding through the issuance of 11.5 million ordinary shares. The company, with active mining operations in the US and Canada, say the capital will support further Bitcoin accumulation. Now, despite its aggressive Bitcoin accumulation, the company's stock, which trades at the London Stock Exchange, has struggled. It's down over 42% year to date and fell more than 7% in the past 24 hours. So just because you pick up a Bitcoin strategy doesn't mean the stocks are going to follow through. We're kind of seeing that switch off now. Because at first, when Saylor did it, Metaplanet did it, it's like the first come-uppers, like they benefited from it. Their stocks actually went with it. It actually was beneficial. But some companies out there like this one, which was at the the Canadian company, London Bitcoin company, their stock hasn't performed well. So maybe it'll just take some time. We'll see. This is all still totally new from companies adding Bitcoin to a treasury. So we kind of got to see what it plays like with Strategy and Metaplan. But now we're seeing like all these other companies and how their stocks are reacting. But no, so Bitcoin's being gobbled up. 159,000 is gone, guys. You won't get that because these companies are going to keep holding on it. So just get it while you can. If you need help, join the club. We're here to help you. But let's continue on and talk about this next company in Japan, K-Wave Media, and how they're raising $1 billion for their Bitcoin treasury. So K-Wave Media launches a Bitcoin treasury strategy, securing up to $1 billion in capital, including a $500 million agreement with Anson Funds. So K-Wave Media, Inc. has announced a $500 million convertible note agreement with Anson Funds to support its Bitcoin treasury strategy. This financing follows an earlier $500 million standby equity purchase agreement with Bitcoin Strategy Reserve, bringing the company's total capacity to $1 billion. And here's a tweet from Bitcoin Magazine notifying it. Just in, the publicly traded K-Wave Media secures $1 billion in capital to the capacity its Bitcoin by. Nothing stops this train. And again, guys, like we keep saying, like nothing's going to stop this Bitcoin train and bandwagon going. Like, again, we're easily going to touch 120 with new all-time highs. We're going to keep going further, maybe 200, and then it's all going to be prediction right there. We don't know where it's going, but this train ain't stopping. So but as part of the Anson agreement, K-Wave will still issue $15 million in senior secured convertible notes and warrants in the first tranche. Now, under the terms of the deal, at least 80% of the net proceeds will be used to purchase Bitcoin. K-Wave confirmed it has already acquired 88 Bitcoin, and they said that we believe that this financing structure positions us to execute one of the most ambitious corporate Bitcoin accumulation strategies in the world. Said Ted Kim, the CEO of K-Wave Media, our objective is clear: to scale our holdings toward 10,000 Bitcoin as soon as possible while maintaining strong investor alignment and full transparency in treasury reporting. The company also expects its Korean content business to benefit from this strategy. Now, we actually explore innovative ways for global fans to engage with, consume, and even invest in our premium movies and dramas using Bitcoin, Kim added. Now, Amin Nathau, the CEO of Anson Funds, stated that we are excited to partner with K-Wave and their impressive management team as they execute on both the K-content and Bitcoin treasury opportunities. Now, the agreement allows for the potential issuance of up to $500 million in convertible notes and warrants, and with these conversion pricing set at $4.40 per share, the warrants exercisable at $3.66, and they are valid for 5 years, and the notes mature in July 2027. And and they only accrue interest at the event of default. Now, DBorrow Capital LLC acted as the exclusive placement agent for this offering, and K-Wave Media is the first NASDAQ-listed company to combine Korean culture content with Bitcoin Treasury model, aiming to create the new forms of engagement. So again, another company is being added or is adding Bitcoin to its treasury, and this is a lot, 1 billion. So again, like how much Bitcoin will that be? Let's see. Let me just try to do some quick math in my head. If Bitcoin's, let's say 100, let's just do 100,000. 10 of them would be 1 million, and then you need another 100. So, oh man, are they getting like going to be acquiring a couple hundred, a couple thousand Bitcoin? Yeah, my math's totally probably off about that, but no, like this is a huge number because we got like Michael Saylor saying, oh yeah, we're going to buy another 4 million, 4 or 5 million. It's like, yeah, the million's cool, but when we see this billion number, it's like, that's going to be a nice little pump in Bitcoin's price. And who knows, could this be the start of what we saw with the price right now? We'll have to wait and find out. But that's their news on at least corporate companies is adding more Bitcoin to their treasury. It's happening every single day. We're getting more news, and I will report on it just to let you know, guys. Like, Bitcoin's running out. Get it while you can. Look at this company. They just bought more. So that's why I'll keep reporting it for you. But let's continue on now with some more news. Let's go on. Let's talk about Trump's family and their back business votes on making governance token tradable. So this is in reference to World Liberty Finance. And when it first launched, I remember I tried signing up for it, but eventually it took me to a point where it's like, you need to be an accredited investor to take part in this token drop and to be a part of this platform. I couldn't do it. Wasn't an accredited investor, but I'm sure that was a lot of people out there who were wanting this WLFI token. But now it may be possible because they are voting on making these tokens tradable. So let's go through this article and hear a little bit more about it. So the proposal, which launched voting on Wednesday, had more than 99% support from roughly 5 billion token holders at the time of publication. Now, World Liberty Financial, the crypto company backed by U.S. President Donald Trump and his sons, has opened a proposal for voting to make the platform's governance token tradable. As of Wednesday, a proposal to make the World Liberty Financial token tradable had received more than a 99% support from users, with voting scheduled to end on July 16th. If approved, the plan could unlock significant amounts of WLFI tokens, though it stated that founders, team, and advisory tokens, seemingly including those held by Trump and his family, would not be immediately available for trading. Now, this would mark a major milestone in the development of the World Liberty financial ecosystem and opens the doors for broader community participation, access, and protocol development, said the proposal. And here is that tweet from them. The proposal to make WLFI tradable is now live for voting. After receiving overwhelming support on the forum, it's clear that the community is ready. Let freedom ring and bring crypto home. Vote now, and there is a link for you for those token holders out there to be able to go place their vote. Now, the crypto business was launched in 2024 by Trump and his sons Barron and Donald Trump Jr., as well as Eric Trump. And co-founders, we have Chase Harrow and Zach Volkman of World Liberty. Now, as well as Trump's other crypto ventures have been at the center of controversial surroundings the president as he attempts to enact policies related to digital assets. But according to the reporting from Bloomberg, the president added that at least $620 million to his personal portfolio in a matter of months due to his investment in the crypto industry. Now, including through World Liberty in June, Trump disclosed $57.4 million in income from the crypto business and personally holding $15.75 billion of governance tokens. However, the Trump family has reportedly been reducing its stake in World Liberty Finance since December of 2024, now holding 40% of the company as of June. Now, with World Liberty Financial token holders had cast roughly 5 billion votes at the time of the publication, with a majority favoring making the token tradable. So how many tokens were out there? Did they say 50 billion or 5 billion of them right now? Because 5 billion, like each token supports a vote. So how many do they have? Is that 40% of the company? No, I'm just looking at that number right there. But World Liberty's stablecoin is under scrutiny right now, and the U.S. Congress considers legislation. So starting on Monday, Republican leadership in the U.S. House of Representatives expects to address the 3 crypto-related pieces of legislation. Among the bills, we have the Genius Act, and then we also have the what are the other ones? No, that's not mentioned. They're just talking about this Genius Act in this article. But the Genius Act previously faced pushback from several Democratic lawmakers in the Senate over Trump's connections to World Liberty and the company's USD1 stablecoin. Now, Eric Trump announced in May that an Abu Dhabi-based company would use the stablecoin to settle a $2 billion investment in Binance. Now, the chamber later passed the bill after a second vote in June. So yeah, so there's been a lot of talk. Like we're hearing some more words of the Genius Act. Once this gets passed, like it's game on for the United States and everything. But it has been getting backlash because people are going like, "Oh, Trump's family is benefiting from this," and like because of this bill, like he will do so much better than us or something. But that's just what they're doing. They're just complaining about it. But we will get this bill passed no matter what, because it's going to be favorable for everybody, not just Trump. It's going to be favorable for everybody out there in the States. So there we go. So it's a win-win for everybody. But no, so yeah, so I'll let you know how the voting ends when we finally get a final tally of this, because hey, I may want some of these WFLI tokens out there just to be a governance holder, just to be a part of it. Like this token is a lot different than the Trump meme coin token was. The official Trump meme, that was just a meme coin. That's all it was. This is actually a legit token with governance rights to their actual platform for trading. So this one I would be a part of. That's how I kind of like to choose my coins out there if I put any money into it. But yeah, so that's what the Trump family is doing right now. And again, that's all of our Bitcoin news right now. I know some of you guys here who like watching my channel just for the Bitcoin news. I'll stop it here, take a little quick commercial break, and then we are going to come back with some altcoin news. We're going to talk about Cardano, BNB, Tether, and even Snoop Dogg had an NFT that sold out within 30 minutes. So we'll be back after these messages to cover that article. So be right back once I can find my mouse. Here we go. So be right back, guys.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
And we are back. So welcome back to the show, guys. So a quick update before the commercial. We talked about Bitcoin treasury companies acquiring 157,000 Bitcoin in Q2, leaving like literally of all Bitcoin corporate companies holding 4% of all the Bitcoin out there. So that's pretty crazy. We also talked about Trump and World Liberty Finance going to governance votes. Now we're going to be talking about some altcoins. Let's start off with Cardano. What just happened with this ecosystem? Well, Cardano just dropped Reeve, and it could shake up the enterprise finance. So let's find out about this. So the Cardano Foundation has formally released Reeve, an open source ledger on the blockchain that promises to transplant corporate finance and audit trails into an immutable on-chain environment. Now, announced yesterday, the enterprise-grade middleware is designed to sit between existing ERP suites and the Cardano blockchain, providing cryptographic guarantees for every journal entry without forcing firms to abandon their incumbent systems. Now, the Cardano Foundation releases Reeve. Reeve enables businesses to improve transparency, simplify reporting, and build trust with verifiable financial data. The foundation wrote in its launch statement, framing the product as an answer to data siloing and fraud risk that plague conventional platforms. Now, it doesn't just record financial data, it forges an immutable and transparent ledger. The same notice added, positioning the tool as a trust layer rather than a parallel bookkeeping stack. Now, under the hood, Reeve, also referred to in its repository as Ledger on the Blockchain, or LOB, is published under an Apache 2.0 license and ships as a Spring monolith codebase. Now, the architecture splits responsibilities across discrete Java modules, a reporting core, and blockchain publisher and reader services. Now, a NetSuite Altavia adapter and a forthcoming notification gateway by decoupling each function, and Cardano engineers intend to make it simple for integrating partners to graft additional ERP connectors or ESG reporting extensions without just touching consensus logic at all. Now, the technical rationale is spelled out directly into the project's README, the recording of transactions on-chain. It's immutable and tamper-proof and creates a verifiable trail of financial activities and makes audits faster, less expensive, and more reliable. Now, the audit focus aligns with Cardano's earlier messaging. The Foundation's 2024 activity report disclosed a soft launch of Reeve as part of its push toward operational resilience in real-world utility. Now, they said we were pleased to soft launch Reeve, an enterprise-grade accounting function that enables organizations to enhance transparency and build trust through secure and verifiable financial data, CEO Frederick Gregard wrote in January. Now, the Cardano Foundation is soliciting pilot partners ready to reimagine their business process with blockchain, promising bespoke integration, support in exchange for real-world feedback, and early cohorts are expected to include NGOs looking to bolster donor transparency, publicly listed corporations wrestling with ESG disclosures, and governmental bodies seeking to modernize procurement audits. Now, Reeve's open source release tag 1.0.0 on GitHub means developers can begin testing today, but the Foundation stresses that commercial rollouts will be processed in controlled phases. Now, if the pilots validate its cost savings thesis, fewer reconciliations, instant evidence chains, automated attestations, the project could mark a rare crossover moment where enterprise finance moves from proof of concept to production blockchain. So if this does pan out, this upgrade and support will be what will it be? It will be game changing for enterprise businesses out there. Because again, everything's going to the blockchain. It's going to be verified. Everyone will have their own ledger. Like which one's it going to be on? We don't know. It's got to be built out. It's got to be working. And we know that there's not going to be any bugs or anything in it. And again, they had it. This is like just one of the phases in our just rollout into the adoption of this blockchain technology, companies integrating it into their old system. And then this is just how we progress for it. So Cardano, way to go. Always love getting some Cardano news. I still like that token. I still think it will do well when we do eventually get an alt season, because it is still not alt season. We've been waiting for it all year, since at least April, May, since last year's Bitcoin halving. It's like, oh, it's coming, guys, it's coming. It's like it's just so delayed. Like I love Bitcoin's price going up, but I still have some altcoins in my portfolio. It's like, man, I really would hope those can pump so I can get more Bitcoin. But no, so I still like keeping up to date on all the altcoin news and keeping you guys informed on it, because you may be Cardano bag holders, you may be BNB holders. I just want to keep you informed of what's going on with your investments. So that's our Cardano news. Let's move on to the BNB chain. What's happening with that token? Well, looks like BNB chain completes its 30-second quarterly burn. And could this fuel a rally? No, I don't think it can fuel a rally, but anytime there's a token burn, that will cause a price increase. So with the burn aimed at reducing the asset circulating supply, increased demand for BNB could trigger a significant rally for the coin. Now, the BNB Foundation is a nonprofit organization supporting the development of the BNB chain. Now, it has announced the completion of the 30-second quarterly burn of the Binance coin. Now, according to a blog post by the organization, the latest burn event removed 1.595 million BNB tokens from the asset circulating supply. Now, the total includes the actual tokens burned and some coins removed via the Pioneer Burn program, which helps users recover their lost BNB. Now, BNB chain completes its 30-second burn. The burned coins were worth approximately $1.024 billion at the time of completion. And BNB now has a total supply of 139.2 million tokens following the latest event. Now, the last burn reported in mid-April totaled $916 million. And the BNB chain initiated the auto burn program in December 2021, aiming to reduce the total supply of BNB and the 100 million. Initially, the network tied the burns to Binance's quarterly profits and trading volume on the centralized exchange. However, this auto-burn mechanism determines the amount of BNB to burn by evaluating the number of blocks produced on the chain and on a quarterly basis, and then as well as an average price of the asset. This ensures transparency and predictability. Now, after the BNB Foundation sends the burn tokens to a black hole address, it reports the figures quarterly, and the organization states that this quarter's burn and future ones will be conducted directly on the BNB Smart Chain due to BNB's chain fusion. Now, the fusion is an initiative that seeks to streamline the BNB chain ecosystem by migrating the BNB Beacon chain functionality to the BSC chain, thereby retiring the former. Now, will BNB rally? Let's sign up what this article has to say about it. Me, I don't think it will. I think it'll rally once all the other altcoins do. But based on demand and supply laws, these quarterly burns could positively impact the price of BNB, with the aim of reducing the asset circulating supply. If there's an increased demand for BNB, then this could trigger a significant sustainable rally for the coin. But some institutions are already purchasing large amounts of BNB, with more likely to follow as crypto adoption expands. Last month, the Hong Kong-based NASDAQ-listed crypto infrastructure company Nano Labs unveiled a $500 million convertible note offering with the intention of using proceeds to acquire BNB as a strategic treasury reserve. Now, just last week, Nano Labs revealed that it purchased 74,315 BNB for a total of $50 million, and the company intends to buy up another $1 billion worth of BNB, owning a substantial portion of the asset circulation. So if anything, this company is going to be the one that causes the price surge because, again, they're buying it up. They just sent that 1 billion tokens over, or $1 billion worth of tokens over to just a black hole wallet. So it's a crypto wallet that just nobody has the keys to or nothing. It's just created, sent there. No one's going to touch it again. So they sent that, and then these guys are acquiring up even more BNB. So that would affect the price, obviously. But will a rally a retail rally? I don't think so, because retail has just not been in the game since. We've seen institutions, we've seen governments, but we haven't seen the retail people come back into the crypto space. So once they do, that's probably when we will see our true rally hit. But that's our BNB news. And yeah, if you didn't know what the BNB coin is, I'm not really sure how you not. It is number 5 on coin market cap. So it has the 5th highest market capitalization with $95 billion or $93.5 billion under this coin. So yeah, so there you go. That's our BNB news. Now let's move on to Tether stablecoin news. Looks like they just stashed away $8 billion in a Swiss gold vault. So they put some gold into their own possession in the Swiss. So let's find out about this, hear about it, and how it relates. Tether, the company behind the USDT stablecoin, has moved roughly 80 tons of gold, about $8 billion worth, into its own vault in Switzerland. Now, according to a report, CEO Paulo Arduano says that this private vault is the most secure in the world. He added that gold should logically be a safer asset than any national currency. This step follows Tether's earlier move to hold 7.7 tons of gold, bringing its total to around 80 tons since its March report. Now, Tether's Swiss vault move, the Tether set up its own vault to cut the high fees that outside operators charge. Reports disclosed, Ardana noted that if Tether Gold token grows to $100 billion in circulation, paying 50 basis points in custody fees would be a lot of money. Now here is a tweet from GRM. Tether is storing 80 metric tons of gold in Switzerland and refusing to comply with the EU regulations. Coincidence or a calculated strategy? As the MiC regulation takes effect across Europe and the EU, one thing's certain, Tether isn't playing by Europe's rules. That's so true. Now, running a single facility can bring down overhead, he said, and make it easier to add more gold in the future. It also gives the company a headline-grabbing way to show tangible backing for part of its stablecoin reserve. Now, just beyond precious metals, Tether holdings go beyond just gold. According to the firm's Q1 2025 report, it had almost $100 billion in U.S. Treasury bonds. Total reserves vary depending on which figure is used. They have $112 billion as of March attestations, or nearly $160 billion based on USDT's market cap last month. And either way, gold makes up under 5% of the total backing claimed for USDT. Now, gold makes up a small share. Market data shows that USDT reached close to $160 billion by market cap and accounts for 62% of the $250 billion stablecoin sector. Yet, gold's still a minor piece of the puzzle. Now, precious metals sits along fiat and bonds, not in place of them, but the move to centralized gold is a sign that Tether wants to diversify its reserve mix. It also mirrors wider trends. Central banks, especially in BRICS countries, have been buying gold, and investor flows into gold ETFs have picked up after prices hit multi-year highs. And I got sidetracked by looking at the word BRICS. It's been a while since I've seen a BRICS news article, at least a couple months. So it's like, I wonder what they're up to. So I should probably do a deep dive and see what they've been up to since then, because we all thought they were going to be taking away the dollar. That was our main goal. So I want to hear what's been going on with them. But let's continue on. So Tether's gold reserve now match the precious metals and commodities exposure of major banks. According to Bloomberg, report the comparison put the scale of 80 tons in perspective. But it also underscores how small 80 tons is next to the trillions held by governments and large banks. So as of right now, Tether has 80 metric tons of gold in their Swiss vault, and it'll just make things easier for them from trusting someone else's facility, having to move it, fees. Like, they're just taking more control of their finances and their own stash. So that's what's taking on with Tether, and it does relate also to Tether's gold-backed stablecoin. So this part has to relate to that as well. So that's what's going on with Tether. Now let's move on. We got 2 more articles for you. Let's talk about Snoop Dogg's Telegram NFT drop and how it sold out in half an hour. And yeah, it's kind of crazy with NFTs because I kind of think they're dead right now, but looks like people are still buying them. So let's hear about this. So the collab with Telegram's Tom blockchain appears to show that celebrity-led NFTs, at least in apps like it, aren't entirely dead. So hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg's latest NFT release sold out in just half an hour, generating millions through Telegram and putting the platform's blockchain-based feature to the test. Now, the feat was praised by Telegram founder Pavel Durov on Wednesday, as he noted that blockchain minting and secondary markets are going live on the platform in 3 weeks. It's going to be wild, Durov said, and this was that specific tweet. So Snoop Dogg's digital collectibles drop on Telegram. Sold out in just 30 minutes today, generating 12 million in sales, nearly 1 million unique NFTs inspired by Snoop's iconic style. Blockchain minting in the secondary markets go live in 21 days. It's going to be wild. And then here are some of those NFTs. So of course, the joint is the one that's most sold out there. Pretty funny. But the NFTs, nearly 1 million in total that were sold through Telegram's in-app sent a gift feature with prices ranging from 200 to 15,000 stars. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are unique digital assets recorded on a blockchain that can represent ownership of art, music, or virtual items out there. Now, Durov said that each piece of the collection was inspired by Snoop's iconic style and ties into the latest track of gifts released simultaneously on YouTube. Now, in the music video, a news reporter described how Mr. Moneybag Durov had allegedly been giving away $17 billion to his 106 kids, followed by characterizations of Snoop Dogg as a crip-walking capitalist. Now, waking up early on a brand new day, plug in my phone, get dressed, and then I plot my play, the OG rapper rhymed, narrating his day-to-day use of the app, where critical existence of digital resistance thrives. Now, here is the song. You can listen to it on YouTube, Snoop Dogg Gifts Official. I'm not going to play it so that I don't get demonetized. But some NFTs continue to thrive out there. With the broader NFT market having cooled since its 2021 highs and NFTs shutting down one after another, the collection was more than just another celebrity drop. It shows that NFTs aren't entirely dead, according to analysis. Now, while the NFT market has indeed lost momentum compared to its peak, certain categories continue to thrive. Ryan Yoon, senior analyst at Tiger Research, told Decrypt. Now, observers say that categories like airdrop NFTs, utility-based collectibles have continued to find traction, with Snoop Dogg's collection appearing to be a straddle booth. Now, given the sales and performance, the feat represents more than just a simple collaboration, Yoon said. It's the result of aggressive multi-chain marketing execution and operated by channeling attention and driving demand. Earlier this month, Telegram crossed a major milestone as the open platform, Top, the infrastructure builder behind the OpenSea TON blockchain, surpasses a $1 billion valuation, driven by the rising adoption of mini apps, wallet integration, and NFT activity within the app. So Telegram has been definitely booming. But on Telegram's NFTs, they are used directly in-app and can be gifted within its social ecosystem, a factor that's helped push it as a hub for the degen community, Yoon said. Now, the design choice in particular creates genuine value propositions through features like custom stickers and profile customization, and positions Telegram as a viable market for functional NFT applications, he added. So, okay, so this could be our next step in seeing Telegram as maybe potentially one of the next NFT marketplaces out there. Like, back then, the top places that you can go to would be like OpenSea, Rarity, and then a couple other small ones out there. But the OpenSea and Rarity were the top NFT marketplaces out there where you can go buy, sell, trade NFTs. But now it looks like Telegram may be the next big one out there. So we'll see. But this does show that NFTs aren't completely dead. I think they're more just collectibles now, except for the ones that actually do have use cases, being like a token gate to gain access to a site, music, or whatever. Those ones still will have value and everything. But a lot of them out there, I still just think they're dead. They're not going to go anywhere. I won't see it as an actual investment, just more of a collectible. It's like, yeah, I got this. I'm going to hold on to it. I just like having it. But when it comes so a lot of these NFTs, I don't consider them investments. Just a collectible. That's my thoughts and how I view them. But hey, so congrats Snoop Dogg on selling now, and just half an hour of those. Now let's move on to our final article of the evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this. I always like to cover some type of scam that may have been going on in the space, so hopefully you weren't affected of it, or maybe you're dealing with it right now. But let's hear what's going on with this. Crypto exchange GMX has been drained of Bitcoin and Ethereum in a $40 million exploit. So yes. So GMX has offered the attacker a 10% white hat bounty after some $40 million worth of assets were swiped from the crypto protocol. So again, you guys got to be careful on sites and platforms you use because they may come with vulnerabilities out there, and then you may end up losing all your crypto. So GMX, a cross-chain decentralized exchange specializing in perpetual future trading, warned on Wednesday that an initial version of its platform was exploited. Roughly $40 million worth of tokens were siphoned from GMX V1. Sorry, guys, I got something in my throat. Always the last article, am I right? But roughly $40 million worth of tokens were siphoned from GMX V1, which debuted on Ethereum's Layer 2 scaling network Arbitron in 2021. The unknown wallet, GMX said on X in a response, GMX V1 trading was disabled alongside the minting and redeeming of GMX's GLP token on Arbitron and the Layer 1 network Avalanche, GMX said. Now, GMX was recently changing hands around $11.19 at nearly 21% drop over the past day, according to crypto data provider CoinGecko. Now, GMX's GLP token is designed to allow purchasers to earn fees in Ethereum and Avalanche from users' activity on the exchange by effectively providing liquidity. Now, investors can swap assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum for GLP tokens through GMX's website, and those funds are then pooled together in theory. Now, GLP holders are able to sell the token back to GMX for assets in the liquidity pool, but most of the funds went missing on Wednesday. Now, that included around $10 million worth of Bitcoin, $10 million worth of Circle's USDC stablecoin, $8.5 million worth of Ethereum, and around $1 million worth of Tether's USDT stablecoin, as well as a substantial amount of Uniswap and Chainlink tokens, according to the dashboard on GMX's website. Now, as the amount of money in the GLP liquidity pool plummeted on Wednesday, the supply of the GLP tokens increased. Sohail Krakar, who led developers relations for TAC, wrote on X that the exploit appeared to be a re-entrancy attack that abused the logic behind minting GLP tokens. Now, the attacker could trick the contract into thinking they hadn't withdrawn anything and then mint more tokens repeatedly using the same base of funds. Kakar explained that this wasn't just a smash and grab, it was a long-planned precision hit. Now, here is this tweet from them. Our initial analysis of today's GLP exploit conducted in collaboration with our security partners and lead auditor still confirms that the attack vectors is specific to GMX V1, and the manipulation involved relates to the calculation of the short average price on V1 and the same for V2. Now, here's another link to that. Security is still in the works, and yeah. But Kakar, along with the blockchain security and data analytics firm PeckShield, noted that the attacker's wallet was funded days before via Tornado Cash, and the Ethereum coin mixer that the U.S. government previously sanctioned for its alleged use in money laundering. But people can still use Tornado Cash. They sanctioned it, but with a VPN, you can hide yourself in another location, boom, using it. So, but yeah, Tornado Cash is used for at least just mixing up tokens out there, making it a little bit harder to track. So definitely thrives for hackers and also people who want to be just even more private. So it doesn't just benefit the hackers, it benefits you and every average Joe out there who wants to have their crypto private, not really tracked. So it's like you bought some Bitcoin from Coinbase, you send that Bitcoin to Tornado Cash, it jumbles it up with a bunch of other Bitcoin, and then it sends it back to hopefully your crypto wallet, not Coinbase. It goes to your crypto wallet, and then boom, it's not the Bitcoin you bought on Coinbase, it's been mixed and mashed with a bunch of other transactions. So that's what this person used in order to hide just a little bit of those transactions. But GMX advised users on X to disable leverage trading and GLP minting Peck Shield, said the vulnerability likely applies to forked versions of GMX, urging them to take caution as well. So re-entrancy vulnerabilities allow an attacker to cram multiple calls or interactions with a smart contract, which holds the code that powers decentralized apps, into a single function. Now, tricking a smart contract into calculating an improper balance, one of the most prominent examples was the 55 million in a 2016 DAO hack on Ethereum. Now, Wednesday's exploit is distinct from Bybit, the 1.4 billion loss in February, in which a developer's workstation was compromised, ultimately leading to the largest crypto hack of all time. Yeah, that Bybit exploit, that was a big one, but they're still around. They were able to cover that huge loss. But within GMX's official Telegram channel, some users wonder whether GLP token investors would be refunded on X. GMX said that it plans on posting a detailed postmortem once the project's investigation is complete. Now, in a message sent to the attacker on chain, GMX offered a 10% white hat bounty equating to $4 million, urging a swift and ethical resolution. The project said it would pursue no further legal action if the funds are returned within 48 hours. So this does happen a lot with hacks. Like if a company or project was hacked, they will usually try to send a message to the hacker and go, hey, if you we'll give you this bounty or this rewards if you send this amount as a white hat bounty. You found this vulnerability, this is your reward for it, just please send us the rest of it back. So this isn't the first time this type of process happens, but so hopefully the attacker will take the 10%, $4 million. Hey, 4 million is 4 million. So sure, it's not 40 million, but that's still a lot more than I have. So hopefully he takes that, returns the money, and then hopefully people who were affected by this will get some type of reimbursement for it. But this all relies on GMX and the platform. So this is why you always want to take custody of your own crypto, not so heavily trust like an exchange or a platform where they're going to be holding on to your money, or even liquidity pools out there too, because there could be some risks to it. It's just you're putting yourself up to some just risks with it. Sure, there could be a nice reward to it, but it just comes down to you, to your risk to reward level. It's like, is this worth it? Like, this could happen, I could lose my money, or this could work out and I gain all this money. So it's up to you if it's going to be worth it. But the safest place to always keep your crypto is just in your own custody. If you have the seed phrase and private key, you're solid. No one else is getting that. Your crypto's safe. No hacker is going to get to it unless you do a human error. But that's it. But that's what's going on with the GMX app out there. It was hacked with an exploit and 40 million was stolen. Hopefully they get the 36 million back. So that is that news article. Hopefully none of you are affected by it. And that is it for the news. Yes. So let's see, where are we at with the fear and greed index right now? We are currently 58. So yeah, with our nice little price rise of Bitcoin. Whoa, did we just touch new all-time highs for Bitcoin while being on the show? We did. New all-time highs live. We are at 112,639. It just keeps going. Let's go, Bitcoin. So woo. So everybody, in honor of this awesome price rise of us touching new all-time highs, have an awesome Wednesday. It's Thursday. Have an awesome Thursday if you're a club member, and be sure to attend our class. I sent out newsletters this morning. We're going to be going over liquidity pools. So we're talking about the benefits and the risks to it, what they are. So just like this last article with like hacks and like how a liquidity pool could be affected by it, you may want to attend this class. So everyone, have an awesome day. I will see you again tomorrow with some more crypto news. So peace out. Love ya.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.